Everything for a Win. The Man Who Lost $80,000. A man in his mid-30s. Let's call him Mark. Mark was 35, married, one kid, worked a steady sales job. Bills were paid. Life was busy, but manageable. Mark didn't gamble growing up. No casinos, no bookies. It started on his phone. A betting app during football season. $10 here, $20 there. It felt harmless, like fantasy sports with money attached. He won early. Not a life-changing amount, a few $100s, enough to make it feel easy. Mark started checking lines in the morning, placing bets during lunch, watching games with his phone in his hand. At first, nothing suffered. Then he lost a bet he was sure about. He doubled the next one to make it back. That became the pattern. Losing didn't feel permanent. It felt temporary, like money he just hadn't won yet. Soon, it wasn't just sports. Slots, live dealer games, fast rounds, quick results. Mark stayed up late chasing wins, told himself he was just unwinding. He slept less, thought more. Losses stacked quietly. Hundreds turned into thousands, thousands into more. He still had income, so he told himself it was fine. He moved money around. Credit cards, cash advances. He didn't tell his wife. He told himself he'd fix it first. Mark became short-tempered, distracted, absent. He checked odds while sitting with his kid, watched games instead of conversations. One night, after a brutal losing streak, Mark sat alone in his car, and he started sobbing, almost uncontrollably. He didn't know why, or at least he told himself he didn't. But part of him knew. He knew he was losing more than he admitted, knew this wasn't temporary anymore. Still, he told himself he'd win it back. One day, his wife logged into their bank app to check on a bonus she received from work. Their savings account said $0, and she saw a new loan account has been opened for $25,000. There wasn't a calm conversation. There was a blowout. She yelled. She cried. She demanded answers. Mark stayed quiet, stared at the floor. She didn't talk to him for days. When she finally did, she didn't say she was leaving. She said they needed a plan. Therapy, restrictions, help. That's when Mark really broke, because he thought she was going to leave. Instead, she stayed. They laid everything out. Between credit cards, loans, and borrowed money, Mark was down over $80,000. They cut expenses immediately, locked down accounts, built a tight budget. Mark started therapy. Weeks turned into months. Today, they've paid off about a third of the debt. There's still a long way to go, still damage to repair, but they're doing it together. And here's my take. Addiction takes something from you that's hard to explain. Control. Not just control over money or behavior, but control over your own body and decisions. That's terrifying. And having someone in your life who doesn't walk away when things get ugly, who stays, helps you rebuild, and still sees you as a person, that's a luxury. A lot of people don't get that. This is one of those addictions that moves fast. It breaks fast. It explodes before you even realize it's happening. Mark was lucky. Not because he caught it early, he didn't, but because when it blew up, someone was still standing there with him. Not everyone gets that.